The Thornbirds, a name that captivated millions throughout the 1980s, has slowly receded into the mists of time nearly half a century later. The actors who once embodied beauty, love, and unforgettable sorrow, where are they now? Some still bask in the soft glow of fame, while others have faded into memory. After nearly 50 years, can you still recognize the faces that once stirred hearts, now marked by both triumph and loss? Join us as we revisit their names, ages, transformations, and the lesser-known stories behind them. The rugged, often infuriating Luke O'Neill was brought to life by Bryan Brown, born on June 23, 1947. At 36, Brown embodied the character with raw authenticity: stubborn, driven, flawed, but undeniably magnetic. His portrayal of the hard-working Australian shearer struck a chord with audiences and critics alike, earning him an Emmy nomination and propelling him into an international acting career. Brown became known not only for his on-screen presence, but also for his outspokenness. In 1989, he publicly criticized the American Film Awards system as biased and politicized, and in 2001, he stirred national debate by opposing Australia's toughened immigration policies. While these comments sparked backlash, they also cemented his image as a straight-talking, unapologetically Aussie icon. Today, at 77, Bryan Brown enjoys a peaceful life in Sydney with his wife, actress Rachel Ward. Together, they've embraced the quiet charm of the Australian countryside. Judy, the warm-hearted wife of Jack Cleary, and a quietly supportive presence in the Thornbirds, was portrayed by Stephanie Faracy. Born on January 1, 1952, she was 31 when she joined the cast. Though her role was not a leading one, Faracy brought charm and subtle depth to the story, enriching the world around the central characters. Throughout her career, Faracy carved out a niche as a reliable and talented character actress in both film and television. While she never attained major celebrity status, her consistent performances earned her lasting respect within the industry. At 73, Stephanie Faracy lives a largely private life but occasionally returns to the screen in smaller projects. She is also a passionate advocate for women's rights within the entertainment world. Christopher Plummer, born on December 13, 1929, was 54 when he portrayed Archbishop Vittorio Contini Vercese, a stern yet compassionate Italian clergyman whose quiet strength added gravitas and warmth to the Thornbirds. Plummer's performance exuded wisdom and a gentle dignity that left a lasting impression. Though his career was largely free of scandal, Plummer was known in the 1960s for his fiery temper, particularly during The Sound of Music, 1965, which he mockingly referred to as the sound of mucus. It wasn't until years later that he openly embraced the beloved role and acknowledged its significance in his life. He passed away in 2021 at the age of 91 following complications from a fall, leaving behind a legacy of powerful and elegant performances. The role of Fiona Cleary, the silent pillar of the Cleary family, marked by quiet suffering and inner strength, was masterfully portrayed by British screen legend Simmons. Born on January 31, 1929, she was 54 when she stepped into the part. Her restrained, deeply moving performance earned her an Emmy nomination and reminded viewers of her exceptional talent. Off-screen, Simmons faced her own personal trials. Her high-profile divorce from actor Stuart Granger in 1960 made headlines, and her second marriage to director Richard Brooks ended in relative silence. Her private life was often the subject of speculation, yet she remained a respected and admired figure in artistic circles. Simmons passed away in 2010 at the age of 80 due to lung cancer, leaving behind a legacy of grace, depth, and enduring cinematic brilliance. Dane O'Neill, the idealistic young man born of forbidden love and destined for tragedy, was portrayed by Philip Anglim, born on February 11, 1952. At just 31, Anglim delivered a performance of remarkable sincerity and emotional depth, earning him a Golden Globe nomination and solidifying his place in television history. Despite this early success, his career did not follow the expected upward trajectory. Anglim gradually withdrew from the limelight, particularly after stepping down from the lead role in The Elephant Man in 1980, a move that fueled speculation about his reclusive nature. For many, his retreat marked the quiet departure of a rare and promising talent. Now, 73, Philip Anglim lives a serene, private life, far from the glare of the spotlight he once briefly commanded. Mary Carson, the wealthy, sharp-tongued widow at the heart of the Thornbirds' early drama, was portrayed by legendary actress Barbara Stanwyck. Born on July 16, 1907, she was 76 when she took on the role. Mary Carson was the embodiment of elegance, cunning, and emotional restraint, a woman driven by power, yet marked by a deep, unspoken loneliness. Stanwyck's masterful performance earned her both an Emmy and a Golden Globe, a testament to her commanding presence on screen. While her professional life sparkled with acclaim, Barbara Stanwyck's personal journey was more complex. Her marriage to actor Robert Taylor in the late 1930s captivated Hollywood, but the couple eventually divorced in 1951 amid rumors of incompatibility and long-standing emotional distance. Known for her fierce independence, Stanwyck never remarried and remained private about her personal life. Barbara Stanwyck passed away in 1990 at the age of 82 due to heart failure and pneumonia, leaving behind a powering legacy in film and television. The role of Bob Cleary, the earnest and grounded eldest son of the Cleary family, was played by Brett Cullen, born on August 26, 1956. At just 27, Cullen brought a quiet strength and sincerity to the character, a role that, though not central, provided emotional contrast and balance to the family's unfolding drama. Cullen's early promise in television never quite translated into stardom, but he built a solid, steady career. In 1991, he briefly made headlines for speaking out against television networks, accusing them of typecasting actors and limiting opportunities for creative growth, remarks that resonated with many in the industry. Now 68, Brett Cullen remains active in both acting and advocacy, devoting time to causes supporting veterans and at-risk youth throughout the U.S. Ralph de Bricasart was brought to life by Richard Chamberlain, born on March 31, 1934. At 49, he captured audiences with his portrayal of the conflicted priest torn between duty and desire. With his composed presence, thoughtful eyes, and deeply emotional romance with Meggie, Chamberlain delivered a performance that resonated with millions. His nuanced acting earned him a Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Leading Role. Off-screen, Chamberlain remained intensely private until 2003, when he came out as gay in his memoir Shattered Love, a revelation that surprised many and challenged the long-standing perception of him as the quintessential leading man. Now 90, he lives quietly in Hawaii, occasionally engaging in creative projects and continuing to write. Alastair McQueen, the intellectual and worldly companion to Justine O'Neill Epple, was portrayed by actor John Delancey. Born on March 20, 1948, he was 53 when he brought the character to life. Delancey infused Alastair with wit, charm, and emotional sophistication, serving as both a romantic foil and a philosophical counterpart to Justine's restless spirit. Best known for his role as the enigmatic Q in Star Trek, Delancey was already a familiar face to many. In 1996, he made waves for openly criticizing the network's abrupt changes to his storyline, an act that revealed his straightforward, occasionally blunt nature. Now 77, John Delancey remains active in the creative world and is also deeply committed to youth education, particularly in science and environmental awareness programs. Luddie Mueller, the humble and kind man who became Meggie's emotional anchor during her years away from home, was portrayed by veteran actor Earl Holliman. Born on September 11, 1928, Holliman was 55 when he took on the role. With warmth and quiet strength, his portrayal offered a comforting reprieve amidst the turmoil, making Luddie one of the most beloved supporting characters in the series. A familiar face on American television and a Golden Globe winner, Holliman sparked industry controversy in 1970 when he turned down a high-profile film role, citing its lack of humanity. The decision led to a brief period of blacklisting, but it also earned him respect for standing by his principles. At 96, Earl Holliman lives a quiet, contented life and remains dedicated to animal welfare, causes a lifelong passion he has supported with quiet devotion. With her striking beauty and undercurrent of sorrow, Rachel Ward delivered a stirring performance as Meggie Cleary, a woman shaped by love, loss, and quiet resilience. Born on September 12, 1957, she was only 26 when she stepped into the role that would define her career. Despite her youth, Ward conveyed a remarkable maturity and emotional complexity that that helped turn the Thornbirds into a worldwide phenomenon, earning her a Golden Globe nomination. That same year, Ward sparked controversy with her comment that film should serve art more than the masses, drawing criticism from American producers and media figures who took issue with what they saw as an elitist stance. Now 67, Rachel Ward continues to contribute meaningfully to the world of film, particularly in Australia, through independent projects and directing. She also dedicates her time to causes close to her heart, including mental health advocacy and environmental activism. Barry Corbin, born on October 16, 1940, was 43 when he portrayed Pete, the kind and steady countryman whose brief appearances brought warmth and authenticity to the Thornbirds. Though a supporting character, Pete's grounded presence added texture to the drama, and Corbin's natural charm made the role quietly memorable. Known for his no-nonsense demeanor both on and off-screen, Corbin managed to avoid controversy for most of his career. In 1994, however, he drew media attention when he criticized the increasingly commercial nature of Hollywood filmmaking, a stance that briefly caused some studios to distance themselves from him. Now 84, Barry Corbin remains active in television and devotes considerable time to charitable efforts, especially those focused on veterans and individuals living with PTSD. Justine O'Neill, Meggie's daughter and the fiery voice of a new generation, was portrayed by Mare Winningham. Born on May 16, 1959, she was just 24 when she took on the role. With intelligence, independence, and emotional complexity, Winningham's performance stood in bold contrast to the more traditional women of the Cleary family. Her portrayal of Justine, fierce, driven, and emotionally layered, became a standout of the series and opened doors to a career filled with acclaimed dramatic roles. Known for her depth and subtlety, Winningham has continued to build a strong, respected body of work over the decades. Now 65, she remains active in both film and television, while also devoting time to arts education programs for underserved youth in low-income communities. Miss Carmichael, the poised and principled mentor figure in the Thornbirds, was portrayed by Palance. Born on August 5, 1950, Palance was 33 when she took on the role, bringing depth and composure to the character. As a key influence in Justine's early life, Miss Carmichael's intellectual presence left a subtle yet lasting impression on the story. As the daughter of Hollywood legend Jack Palance, Holly spent much of her early career under the spotlight of Great Expectations. In a surprising turn, she chose to pivot away from acting and television hosting in 1989, shifting her focus toward journalism, a move that reflected her quiet passion for truth-telling over fame. Now 74, Holly Palance leads a private life centered around writing and has contributed to numerous humanitarian journalism efforts over the years. Anne Mueller, the fiercely intelligent and compassionate woman who welcomed Meggie during her time of need, was brought to life by the iconic Piper Laurie. Born on January 22, 1932, Laurie was 51 when she portrayed Anne with dignity, warmth, and remarkable emotional clarity. Her layered performance added gravitas to the story and was met with critical acclaim. Laurie's off-screen life was equally compelling. In 1981, her memoir shed light on the darker realities of mid-century Hollywood, revealing how she had been pressured into sexualized roles during the 1950s, a revelation that added her voice to the broader reckoning with Hollywood's past. Her divorce from director Joseph Morgenstern in 1982 also captured public attention. Piper Laurie passed away in 2023 at the age of 91 due to age-related complications, leaving behind a legacy of brilliance, strength, and resilience. And so we come to the end of our journey through the luminous highs, quiet heartbreaks, and surprising detours in the lives of the Thornbirds cast. Decades may have passed, but the emotions this series stirred remain timeless echoes of love, loss, and longing that still speak to something deep within us. Do you have a special memory tied to the Thornbirds? We'd love to hear it. Share your story in the comments below. And if this journey touched something in you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so we can continue rediscovering more unforgettable stories and cherished memories together. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.